us meet Socrates. Socrates, one of the ancient Greek philosophers, is often remembered for his unique approach to knowledge and wisdom. He didn't leave behind any written records of his own ideas, but his teachings and philosophies were preserved through the writings of his students, primarily Plato and Xenophon. Though he is considered as critic of intellectuals during his time, he himself did not claim to be wise. His father was a stoneman or sculptor, while his mother is a midwife. His wife, Santipe, said to be an ugly woman, bore him three children. In valuable writings, philosophers depicted Socrates as a big and not so handsome man. He would walk around like a duck who loves to quack, cracking jokes, and had his quirky habit of rolling his eyes, all while playfully talking about his students and their thinking habits. He even compared himself as a fly that bothers sleeping Greeks, waking up from what they know. Like a fly, he buzzes in, he disturbs them, much like how he encourages them to question what they are used to believing. He would go to the marketplace, the agora, where he would discuss things using this questions and answers method. He would go to marketplace, the agora, where he would discuss things using the question and answer method or the so-called Socratic method. He is best known for the Elencus or the Socratic method. It is a method of question and answer which aims to provoke the one being asked to think for himself or herself and to clarify their conception about what is being asked. Socrates employed dialectic conversation with his contemporary Greeks. He would engage in a method of inquiry in which he would engage others in open ended conversations, asking probing questions that lead them to uncover their own inconsistencies and gaps in understanding. He didn't bring with him answers to satisfy his fellow Greeks in dialectical conversation. His sole provision was questioning. The dialectical conversation is a method of philosophical inquiry in which two or more individuals engage in a structured dialogue aimed at arriving at a deeper understanding of a particular concept, idea, or issue. He believed that true wisdom involved recognizing the limits of one's own knowledge. His famous statement, I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing. This statement reflects his belief that true wisdom comes from recognizing the limits of one's knowledge and being willing to question assumptions and seek deeper understanding. Socrates' humility in admitting his lack of definitive knowledge was not a rejection of intellectual pursuits, but rather a way of emphasizing the importance of self awareness, critical thinking, and continuous learning. Socrates was deeply interested in questions of ethics and morality. He believed that virtue was the highest form of knowledge and that living a virtuous life was essential for human happiness or the so-called eudaimonia. He proposed that virtue, the key to living a fulfilled and moral upright life, virtue is balanced life or strike the balance. He engaged in discussions about justice, courage, piety, and other ethical virtues. According to him, man's body comes from this world of matter, but his reason comes from the universal reason or mind of the world. He introduced that soul is coming from the world of ideas, the modern day concept of heaven. The soul possesses knowledge, beauty, justice, truth, virtue, perfection. It is immaterial, immortal, and pre-existed before birth. Socrates added that the soul is distinct from the physical body as body is temporary and mortal while soul is immortal and transcendent. Through self-examination or the modern day conscience, the soul should strive to live the virtue over the physical pleasures of the body. In his later life, Socrates made some people in Athens feel uncomfortable because of his clever ways of thinking. He questioned what people believed in, their virtues, their values, their religion, and politics. Things got worse when he got arrested and had to go to trial. He was accused of two things: impiety, because of not worshipping the gods of the state and introducing new unfamiliar ways of worship, introducing new gods. Corruption of the minds of the young who would flock around him. Because of these charges, Socrates was found guilty and sentenced to die. He had to drink poison as a punishment called hemlock poison. Socrates had the opportunity to escape and avoid the death sentence. His friends and supporters arranged for a plan to help him flee Athens and live in exile. However, Socrates chose to remain in Athens and accept the death penalty. He believed that his commitment to philosophy and truth was more important than his own life. He saw his death as a way of upholding the principles he had lived by, and he famously stated that an examined life is not worth living. Socrates' decision to drink the poison and face death with philosophical composure has become a symbol of his dedication to his beliefs and his commitment to living in accordance with this principle. Socrates' decision to drink the poison and face death with philosophical composure has become a symbol of his dedication to his beliefs and his commitment to living in accordance with his principles. His choice to continue philosophizing even in the face of death has left a lasting legacy and has inspired countless generations of thinkers and